Hey, I'm Suzanne Caldeira with Guaranteed Rate, and maybe you were just randomly Googling looking for where to get your car fixed and you're in the Providence area. And you're going to be delighted. Watch this video. You're going to get to know Trish Cirelli and get to know a little bit about her, a little bit about her story and how she's a woman-owned business and in a man's world. So Trish, thanks so much for saying yes to this.
Thanks for offering the opportunity.
Yeah, so I want to know, how the heck did you get into this?
It's kind of a really long story. I graduated high school and took a year off of college and was just working as a waitress and ended up getting pregnant with my two oldest twins. And then took a year off to be a mom of twins, which was kind of hard to adjust to. Decided that I was going to go to college for criminal justice. I got through it without any issues with the kids, and took about a year to actually work in a group home and what have you. And that was a lot of fun, but it was very stressful. And about that time, my father was looking for a service writer for his shop, Wayne Service. So I had always had interest in the business since I was 12. I had gone in and spent time and things like that. And anytime you wanted to connect with my dad, you had to be in the garage, which he always made time for you in the garage, but you had to be in the garage. When he was looking for the service advisor, I called him and I said, listen, this is the one time that if you don't say yes to this, I will actually be really mad at you. And he said, all right, you can take the opportunity and I'll give you a shot. He goes, I'll help you, but I'm not going to guide you through this. I'm not going to give it to you on a silver platter. You're going to have to work for it. So that first year was kind of difficult at the shop, but it was an awful lot of fun and really challenging. And I found that it was really my niche of service advising. It was a struggle because we had 3 boys in the shop. Well, I think 2 actually at that time. It was 10, 12 years ago, 2 at that time. And it was hard for them to take direction from me, not necessarily because I was a woman, but because I was the boss's daughter. And they thought a lot of the reason I was there was because it was on the silver platter. But so after about 2 years, we were flying high and I had blown my father's expectations out of the water.
That's pretty cool. Now, how did you get through like getting those guys to see like, hey, you know what? He didn't just hand this to me. I'm doing the work.
I think maybe the biggest part of that was them watching the struggle between my dad. Any struggle we had was pretty much public in the shop. Like if we were having an argument, and it wasn't a screaming match when I say argument, they listened to both of us. They saw it. It wasn't hidden. So I think they kind of figured out that no, it wasn't a silver platter. It was an argument every day. And I didn't get to walk away from it when I left the shop because I spend a lot of time with my parents. You know, we're with them at least 2 to 3 days of the week, even on the weekends. So it wasn't something I could walk away from. If there was an issue at the shop, it came home with us.
And how did you find that affected you and your dad's relationship? Did it affect it? Do you think it was more of a positive where you got closer, or do you think that there was some friction to get through?
So where I am now is I obviously own the business. My husband and I took it over 2 years ago. My husband's a stay-at-home dad, so he is as much of a owner at Wayne Service Plus as I am, because I couldn't do it without a stay-at-home parent, in my opinion. What I see now, sitting back here and looking back on the relationship between me and my father, I think a lot of it did put some tightness in that relationship, in the effect that he wasn't necessarily my dad anymore, but he was my mentor and my boss. And now 2 years later, he's not my boss anymore. He's still my mentor all day long. But I feel like he's actually my dad. I can sit back and look at my dad now and say, oh, he's getting older. He's cute. Like, you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, for sure. It's he's changed. You know, he's not that business owner dad kind of grinding it out where you got to go spend time with him in the shop.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We spend time playing cards now, and we're actually going away in March to Daytona Bike Week and motorcycle riding all together. So we do a lot of things. We just came back from New Hampshire.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we did ski and that was fun.
Oh, that must have been a blast. I, just want to share this story with anyone that's watching the video. I remember meeting you and your husband, and it's so funny because like you're breaking the mold. Like here you are, this woman business owner and in a male dominated field, but yet you see your husband and he's just a dude, right? And here he is, and he's a stay-at-home dad, which I just think that's amazing. And did any of your friends or peer group, like, I don't know, was there anything weird with that, with him saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad?
No, no, actually, believe it or not. And now, mind you, we come from bikers, like big
Yeah,
bad
like
bikers. So when
that's
you
what I'm
say a
going with.
dude, he looks like a dirty biker. All right. So when he goes and picks up the kids from school, it's quite funny to watch all the other moms or dads look and go, good.
But I just remember, and he's like the warmest guy. And I remember, like,
Yeah.
after you guys left, like giving you guys both a hug. So that's where I was going with that, like saying, like, were any of the biker guys, like, I don't know, kind of ribbing at him?
No. And I think a lot of it is because even though he does even want to, even what we women would do back in the day, being stay-at-home moms, we found other hobbies to do other than to just be that proverbial stay-at-home parent. He set up a machine shop in the garage and started, just doing odds and ends like that. And I don't think we got any of that from anybody really. I feel like they just kind of got it that in our family it worked, where Frank was of the mindset to stay home, and I tried it for 2 months. He told me, no, you got to go back to work because this is not for you, honey. In a very supportive manner, of course. But
Yeah. Well, I think it's inspiring, because if there's anyone that's watching this, or anyone that shares this with their daughter, that, hey, maybe you don't follow the traditional model, and you can have a career, and you can balance it, and you can be a great mom. So, and you're inspiring your kids that, hey, if you want to run your own business, why not? Right?
yes, very much so. I mean, my father did that with me, and I gotta say, I came from a mom who had a master's degree in social work and was very high up in DCYF, and I'm very blessed to have that role model in a lot of ways. And my father couldn't have started the business without her help. So I come from a long line of women who are very strong, but very, very good men surround us, and I think that's the key to it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think supportive partnership is huge, for sure.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
talk to me about, maybe your typical day. What's a typical day like for you in the shop and whatnot?
Um, so I wake up, I either bring the kids to school or Frank does. And then if they even have school nowadays, and then I go into the shop and just, I'm there as more of a support at this point. I'm working on the business rather than in the business. Caitlin is our service advisor. I check in with her, see if she needs anything. The boys are the technicians. I have Mike, who's been with us for almost 25 years now, Leo, who's been with us for 10, and V, who's been with us for 8. And usually I come in and say good morning to them, and they go, oh God, boss lady's here, busted chops, or
Yeah.
they'll tell me some funny story about the day before or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's just a really jovial, exciting place to be for us. We really enjoy our work.
What is your typical type of customer? Like, what are things that you found that your techs love to work on more than other things? Or there's, specific type of, whether it be makes and models or issues that they like better than others?
So we love Hondas and Toyotas and Subarus. They are above all our major brands. But we will work on pretty much anything except for Audis and Mercedes and things like that. Mike loves diagnostics. So anytime a check engine light comes on, or there's a running issue with a car, something someone can't figure out, we are totally known for it. We had a car come in one day, it was an Acura, and they were told by the dealership that they had to replace the computer in the car, which was a really expensive job. It was about $2,500. And the guy's like, oh, no. So he brings it to us, and I explained, we have to diagnose it. And sure enough, after about $250 of diagnostic time, Mike figures out that the computer electric wire, the ground wire, is not connected and not grounded. So therefore, you'll never make a right connection. So it wasn't a computer, it was just a ground wire. Simple.
Wow.
So things like that, like we love. And I get all excited. Mike comes and tells me this, and we're dancing in the parking lot in the middle of the summer going, yeah, we did it. We did it. We figured it out.
Oh my God, that's such a great story. And, saved the owner of the car, I'm sure, a ton of money.
Oh, he was very thankful. Very thankful.
Yeah, sweet. What are some of the other things that your techs are known for?
So Leo is known for getting anything done quickly. If we have a customer who says, my car broke down, and we diagnose it and figure out what's wrong with it, and then it needs to get done that night, it doesn't matter how long it takes, Leo will stay there and get that done no matter what. And V is all about making the customer happy. Whatever the customer needs, whatever they want, we will make sure that it's done for them. He just, you tell him you need something at the end of the day, and V just goes running and gets it taken care of. So we're very blessed. And Caitlin is just awesome on that front counter. She blows me away.
It sounds like you've built just, like this cohesiveness and people that have been with you a long time. How long has she been with you?
She has been with us. She's the newest. So the service writer I had before COVID, she found it much better to be a stay-at-home mom. Obviously, with the closing of daycares and what have you, it's what fit her family best. So we wished her the best of luck with that, and she's doing great. So Caitlin, we hired in June. It was the last week of June that we hired her, and she's 25, kind of fresh out of the dealership world. She had just started maybe her second day, and I go into the shop and we're training, and all of a sudden I get this pain like you wouldn't believe, Susan. Oh my God, it was so horrible. I am literally on the floor crying, and Frank comes and gets me, and Caitlin's left there all by herself for the whole week because I have appendicitis. So she got a really rough start, but she did really great. She's been there ever since and doing a great job.
Sometimes that's the best way. You got to rise up, right?
Thank God for her.
Yeah.
Us tough chicks can do that.
Oh yeah. I am so grateful that you said yes to doing this. And if anyone's looking to get their car serviced, I know Trish, you mentioned Honda, Subaru, and Toyota being the models that you guys that tend to be in the strike zone for you guys. Definitely consider them as an alternative to a dealership, especially if you just saw that story of how a dealer group would have charged the client so much more. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Thank you so much, Suzanne, for having us. I really appreciate it. It was just so awesome to sit with you, and I can't wait for my next mortgage to be done through you.
Aw, thanks.